Yesterday in this hour, we told you about the mysterious lights that keep appearing over Lake Erie near Cleveland. Here is some home video of the lights that neighbors in the area say are unlike aircraft or helicopters that fly there. And last night, for the 8th night in a row, they said these lights were back, appearing around 7:30 p.m. and lasting about 2 hours. NASA has a lab in Cleveland called the Glenn Research Center. They test rockets and various aircraft, but say they haven't done any testing this week. A Pentagon official told me the U.S. military has not been testing anything recently in that area. And the FAA acknowledges the light pattern seems different from commercial flight paths in the area. So what on earth is going on? Joining us is UFO expert Nick Pope from our London bureau. Nick ran the British government's UFO project at the Ministry of Defense. Nick, first of all, what do you make of what we're all hearing from Cleveland? 8 days, the lights seem to be similar, but they look unlike anything that people have ever seen.
Yes, it certainly seems to be an interesting wave of sightings, and it's always fascinating when you get activity like this over a period of different nights. I think my key question would be, and it's really a question for the Air Force and the FAA, has anyone checked the radar tapes to see if anything unusual was tracked?
Well, as a matter of fact, I spoke to officials at the FAA today. They checked in with Cleveland Air Traffic Control, and they don't have anything unusual, nothing unusual on the radar, no unusual reporting from any pilots. Is it possible that maybe this is some sort of a helicopter or a rescue service from one of the Cleveland hospitals that people east of the city are looking at a little bit differently?
I wouldn't have thought so, and I've seen some of this footage myself, and what struck me about it was the way that it appeared to change colour at some stage, and that's quite interesting. I mean, I think as ever, one would need to get hold of the original camera, the original film footage, and do some proper forensic analysis to get to the bottom of it. But it's certainly interesting, and as I say, the fact that it's come back over several nights and been seen by many different people makes it quite a significant sighting.
Well, and as far as the analysis of the film, well, we intend to do just that, and it's now several people. We're being told that because this has been happening night after night, people are now gathered on the beaches along Lake Erie near Euclid, Ohio, where this kid first saw it. And apparently, again, for 8 nights in a row, it happens about each night between 7 and 7:30 in the evening. The lights stay up for about 2 hours. Sometimes they dim, sometimes they get brighter, sometimes they move up, they move to one side, and then they eventually disappear. What do you make of it all?
Well, most UFO sightings do turn out to have conventional explanations. They can be lasers, searchlights, fireworks, the Chinese lanterns, which are quite popular, and people let these off at parties and barbecues and things like that. But I think what is interesting is that these days, of course, almost everyone has a cell phone with the capability to take photos and videos. So out of the tens of thousands of people who see UFOs each year, we're getting more and more of this interesting footage. So we're more likely to get to the bottom of these sorts of mysteries.
Well, we certainly hope to get to the bottom of this one. Nick Pope from London, thank you so much, Nick. We will keep you posted on how things go over here. We appreciate it. And by the way, we do have some breaking news before our notebook item, and this involves Andrew Cuomo, the Attorney General of New York. He has announced now independent investigation of New York Governor David Paterson over some of the ethics charges. This will be led by Judge Judith Kaye. Again, Andrew Cuomo appoints Judith Kaye to lead up the investigation into New York Governor David Paterson. Now, finally, today's notebook item. Based on our interest in what's happening in Cleveland, you may think we are crazy, gullible, or not serious. But the fact is, as a journalist, our job is to report like hell, keep an open mind, and let the chips fall where they may. It's a lesson I learned the hard way nearly 12 years ago. After covering the Whitewater investigations in Arkansas, I had the best contacts and sources in Ken Starr's independent counsel office of any reporter, period. And yet, when I got a tip in January of '98 that Starr was now investigating an intern who allegedly had sexual relations with Bill Clinton, I didn't pursue the story for several crucial hours. I thought to myself, and I told several friends, there is no chance this kind of issue would ever fall within Ken Starr's investigation mandate. Well, a competing news organization found out that Starr's mandate had been expanded, and they broke the Lewinsky story, not me. Now, does it seem logical that a UFO is flying around Cleveland? Of course not. But a lot of things we hear don't seem logical or plausible. The question is the information we are collecting accurate and true, and how can it be explained? On this story and every other we bring you, we will report like hell and keep you posted. That's our show for this Thursday. I'm David Schuster in Washington.